When the Maid of Norway died in the autumn of 1290, there was no clear succession to the kingship of Scotland. 14 nobles put forward their claims to the throne. The two most credible were those of Robert Bruce, grandfather of the future king, and John Balliol, his kinsman. John Balliol had been born in 1249, the son of two great noble families. The Scots nobles invited King Edward I to adjudicate the claims, which he agreed to do in return for oaths of fealty from the competitors. John Balliol was selected after more than a year of hearing evidence and reviewing documents. He was crowned King John at Scone on November the 30th, 1292. Almost immediately, Edward moved to assert himself as Balliol's overlord. Balliol was out of his depth in dealing with the cunning and ruthless English king. Edward became ever more dictatorial in his demands, ordering Balliol to appear before the English High Court, a direct challenge to the independent authority of the Scots king. The final insult came in the summer of 1294, when Edward ordered the Scots king to gather his feudal levies for overseas service against the French king. No Scots king had ever served another king as vassal. King John got a short reprieve from this crisis when the Welsh rebellion distracted Edward. Edward learned of the Scots' alliance with the French, which was formed during this interval, and invaded Scotland in March 1296. Meeting little resistance, Edward took and sacked Berwick and defeated the inept Scots at Dunbar. King John had no means of opposing Edward, and so on July the 10th he surrendered. Edward forced Balliol to renounce his kingship publicly and surrender his kingdom. Having complied with these demands, King John then suffered the humiliation of having his royal crest of arms ripped from his surcoat, thus earning the nickname he was known by ever afterwards, Toom Tabard, or Empty Jacket. He was then taken prisoner to the Tower of London. Later, he was placed under house arrest for several years before finally being allowed to live quietly at his family's ancestral estate in France, where he died in 1313.